Hey, what's up everybody? It's Vids, and we're back for some more Pyre Community RITE NITE, which means of course some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre, featuring first and foremost none other than the members of the RITE Club Discord server, the place for all things multiplayer Pyre. And if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then look no further, because you can click on that link right there to join said Discord group. But those of you in chat, you are not off the hook. No, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat? You click on that and you'll find all of the various requests that you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players' exiles, masteries, songs, arenas, even Titan stars are all fair game. So, without further ado, let's hop into versus mode here and set ourselves back to our defaults real quick, but let me know if there's anyone who would like to get us started. How's everybody doing? As I will also hop into said Discord group. There we are. Okay. Failer, looking to get in right off the bat. You love to see it. How's it going, Failer? The invite should be on its way. See, this is the problem with modern slang. Lilac says, I'm cooking. I don't know whether I'm to take you literally or figuratively. Are you cooking something to eat right now? Or are you doing something else entirely? That doesn't really answer the question. I'm afraid that is not specific enough. I don't know, do we let Lilac cook? Alright, well, we appear to have Failer in one of the two spots here, but let me know if there is anyone who would like to hop in the second spot. Okay, now here we're getting some of the specifics we were looking for. Making something in an art program. These were the details that we were needing before. All right, Anora's up for joining. Well, that's great. In that case, Anor, you're welcome to take the second spot here, and when you're ready, I can send you an invite as well. Should be on its way. So it appears as though we'll have some Failer versus Anor action to start things off. Let us know if there is anything setup-wise that we'd like to see for this first one, or if we want to just leave it up to the players to go with whatever they'd like. Lilac is turning Customize off, so randomized exiles, masteries, and talismans for the first match. Won't even get to see what those things are in advance, just going to get thrown straight into the action, and that action will of course take place at none other than the Hulk of Orez, the boat. Alright, did those invites go through for either of you? Theoretically, I think I did send one to both of you guys. I admittedly did not check before disconnected. Okay, yeah, I did not check before starting up today as to whether there were any Steam updates this week, which honestly just have become so regular that it more or less needs to be part of the routine at this point. Didn't used to be the case, but there's a chance that may be at play.
Maybe this is my bad. I think I've got a Steam update. Hang on, let me do that real quick.
If you have one, I probably have one. So you know what? I'm gonna quickly restart Steam here. I am growing suspicious that there is in fact a recent Steam update that we may all need. Let's check. Yep, there's a Steam update. Unsurprisingly, that seems to be the culprit. Alright, no worries though, it's quick. It's booted back up, and I am booting Pyre back up. Okay. Let me know. It probably means that, yeah, Phaler said he needed one, and Nora, you may very well need one as well. Yeah. Probably worth taking a minute for everyone to just double check. Fortunately, they're usually quite quick. Better that than, assuming it's a straightforward Steam update, knocks on wood, and not one that adds additional processes to send people invites and get them in on remote play and all that, because, oh, you guys know, we have been there. Oh, yep, Anor had one as well. Alright, so let's see. We had a boat, we had customize off, and then let me know once you guys are good with the updates, and then I'll send you some new and improved invites.
I launched again. Yeah, I can get another invite.
Okay. Invite should be on its way for you, Phaler. I think Anor may still be restarting.
Okay, this seems to have worked.
Got the sound effect suggesting that you are in, which we did not get before. So that, at least, is a good starting point. Let me see if Anor is showing up now. It looks like it. Steam has launched. Perfect. Okay. Get an invite headed your way in that case. Should be heading over now. Okay. And then, yeah, once we have you both in... Looks like it is Phaler player 1 and Anor player 2. Player 2? Okay, perfect. That means Phaler here. And Anor is here. And I take this to mean that the two of you are both going with your usual triumvirates as well. Fate, and the Nightwings, respectively. Alright, so I think that means we are good to go here. Why don't we get things started? Remember, customize off for this first one. And it is on the boat. But we will see what the players end up with.
Stand forth, exiles. Welcome to the Hulk of Horus. Each of you seeks to be free from this forsaken land. We soon shall see who is the most deserving. The fate stand ready. Nightwings.
So Phaler, we see the Ashen Coal right off the bat. It is nice to know that, definitively. But it's a sap, an imp, and the last one for Phaler is Headwind, the Nomad. And then Anor starts things off with a 30 damage Crone Plunge, immediately canceling out that extra starting Pyre Life Talisman that Phaler had, but Phaler has extra damage on his Imp for 25. The other characters for Anor, she also has an Imp, alongside a Worm, Deluge. Not sure if we've learned much else Talisman-wise yet, although we did just see a heroic stand from Anor's Deluge. Oh, that's definitely a Stubborn Flame for Anor, as Phaler caps out at 15 damage on the sap in that case, at least while Phaler's in the lead. His maximum damage is reduced by 10. Anor with Vorfrit here. Whoa, a little bit of Crone Boat magic, and Bright Wisp. A little pleasant surprise there for Anor's Crone. And well-placed Portal, no less, setting up this Deluge Plunge for Anor. No prayer beads on Deluge. didn't catch which of Phaler's exiles had the starting Pyre Life talisman. But Anor's defenseless here. Stubborn Flame is still active, so we saw Phaler theoretically would have 25 damage on that imp, except that's basically cancelled out by the Stubborn Flame. The extra imp damage versus the Stubborn Flame. Oh, look at that timing. Very clever play by Anor. But Anor loses Vorford and lost Raji as well, so here is Tizo, even if it looks like Raji, and again, confirmation of Stubborn Flame. Now no Tizo for Phaler. Big leap there from Anor. And that's 30 damage on that plunge. That means things are awfully close, but Phaler is still in the lead, so Stubborn Flame is still active. We've already seen that's a fairly big factor here. Oh, well, Phaler very quick to respond with a 15 damage plunge from his imp. And even with Stubborn Flame, it is still possible for Phaler to finish this with one score, though Headwind would have insufficient damage unless he has an extra damage talisman he has not informed us of yet. It would be enough, though, for Manly. It would need to be maximum, though, and there it is.
The fate prevails.
GG.
A rite conducted with applause.
Well played, you two.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
All right. Well, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know if there is anything you guys would like to see us do for the next one. That was customized off, so if nothing else, and also guaranteed on the boat, so if nothing else, we'll switch those things back and leave it up to the players unless we hear otherwise. Lilac did just say, my creation is complete. I assume this is the thing that Lilac was cooking, the art project of some variety. I'll show you all when I get into play. Okay. Not sure why it necessitates that you be in here, in-game. But Anor is going to set the song for Dread Design. So that much is locked in. Is there anything else? Oh, Lilac does say, give me a sec, I've got a request. Okay. As long as it is not song related, as Anor did beat you to the punch there. Lilac says, pick the exiles that committed the best crimes, in your opinion. Okay, so, first of all, just a disclaimer. Crime is bad, no one should commit crimes. But then, besides that, let us carry on. We do not support crime here, just to clarify. Did we just get a random boat? I'm pretty sure I reset the arena. Ari, no!
Who shall conduct the rites?
I'm pretty sure I remembered to reset it, didn't I? Yeah, are we talking specifically about in their bios, where it says the crime that sent them to the downside? We've definitely done a match with that in mind before. At least once before. Okay, and Lilac confirms, yes, that is the basis for your team selection. And what was the phrasing? The best crimes, in your opinion. Well, there are some interesting options. Yeah, as I said, I think we've definitely seen this request at least once before, and that probably did come up, Blue. Well, see, that's the thing, Ari, is if you really wanted to, as we do see Barker with the first overall pick for Phaler, if you wanted to make a statement, you could deliberately take people who, well, either were born in the downside, all the imps, or take members of the Beyonders. Well, no, I guess all the Beyonders are attempted murder. The non-Beyonder modded exiles, where it's just unknown. And Gilman for having no crime. Is there anyone else who kind of falls under a similar category? Point being is that there are enough people who either didn't commit crimes or their crimes are unknown, that if you wanted to go in that direction and make a statement, you could. You could say no crime is good. This is true. Tizo did say he would commit food crimes against Commonwealth cuisine, if possible. Titan Tooth is the real crime, says I wrote her. Tell me how you really feel, though. So Volfred is the other choice for Phaler. Was Dalbert in the first spot for Anor? I did not remember resisting arrest. That's Almer's? So it is Almer in the second spot for Anor. I don't think anyone has repeated selections yet. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if they are deliberately trying not to double up on anyone. Phaler is consistent here, going with both Volfred and Bertrude, as their crimes are fairly similar. And Jodariel in the last spot for Anor. So here we are. Again, crime is bad. We do not support crime here. But if one were to commit a crime, at least according to the players, these are the coolest ones. If you have any questions, please speak to our lawyers. Whoa, there's a little boat magic. Volfred. Just trying to get into throwing range with that quick throwing talisman, but still not quite quick enough. Here's Anor, sneaking past and plunging in for 20.
Now to the flame.
Jody, almost got another round of boat magic, and that could have been decisive in that case, although still manages to banish almost the entirety of Phaler's team. Phaler tries to get back in time with his crone, and although didn't get the banishment, did force Anor to rush the throw ever so slightly, which was the difference between Anor getting rid of all of Phaler's Pyre life and not being able to do that, so that is why Phaler still has 3 as we speak. Now, does Phaler have any rekindling with Volfred? He may, but He's looking to do some damage on the other side. But he lost his character. Anor plunges, and in doing so does activate Phaler's Rekindling, and it is 50. There's Titan Tooth. Some say that was the real crime. Maybe the real crimes were the friends we made along the way. Lids, no, not like that. What? I said the thing. Well, that was interesting. Seemingly a little bit of boat magic for Ulmer that time. Gertrude for Phaler. Blocked. Now banished. Now Anor with Jody. Blocked as well. But instead, she's the one doing the banishing. Eyeing the jump. Phaler theoretically in position, but Anor just throws off the timing a bit, the hesitation move, and then does manage to get in with a 30 damage Jody plunge. We've already seen the rekindling, so that does mean one score could be sufficient here for Anor. But instead, it's Phaler. He plunges for 20. Anor back with Ulmer, blocked the first time, banished the second time. A little bit of room, perhaps, for Phaler's Bertrude, but Bertrude does go down nonetheless. And the Titan Tooth stuns Phaler, although then Anor got banished herself. Anor with Jody, backs up. Jody versus Bertrude. Jody makes the move, but she's blocked. Now it's Bertrude's turn for Phaler. But she's banished. Anor now moving in with Ulmer. Ulmer versus Volfred. Volfred blocks and banishes, and then banishes another. Phaler now with Bertrude against Jody. Anor getting some reinforcements here. Phaler did plunge with Barker, and so means at best he has 2 exiles in this round, and that is perhaps the difference, as Anor has room to get in for the winning score.
It was as though the scribes themselves stood by their side.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Yeah, the demons being able to pick up the orb mid-jump against a sap in particular, when you have the sapling theoretically blocking the orb, it's a big factor. Alright, Anor says we're going to keep this one as a normal, or at least a match in which the players are choosing their own teams, at least outside of potential songs. Do we have any songs we're looking for here? We do. Never to Return Accusers Edition. There we are. Alright, so in that case, I think that accounts for just about everything. Let's get started. We'll leave this one up to the players. See what they opt for this time. It's also going to be at the Glade this time, which very well could influence their selections, as this is one of, if not the smallest, arena in the game. So Phaler goes Speedy Vorfrit. Anor goes for Vengeful Vow on Tizo. Thinks she went a little bit more on the right side mastery-wise, so that might be the rationale there. Together with a little bit more of a standard imp setup there, though I believe did still take the salute, so both players have that on an imp, and maybe that is with potential Crone salute counters in mind. Of course, Honora had not yet taken a Crone salute at that point, and yet she does opt to do so after the fact there. Titan Tooth Bertrude, so that is a second Crone for Phaler. Now, does the mirror match, or at least near mirror match, continue here? Or does Nora instead double up on the imps? So here we go. The players choosing their own teams, and Phaler breaks out the Crone Salute immediately, and I was gonna say, we saw both players take the Imp Salute, and that is one of the main reasons for doing so, is to counter that move. There is also a sparkle effect in front of Honora's Pyre that happened when she used that salute, and then it persisted even when the round changed. Now it has gone away. Of course, as soon as I mention it, it goes away. A little bit of an opening here, but Honora hesitated, may have been trying to charge up a throw there when perhaps there was only time to go straight in for a plunge. There's Phaler breaking out his other Crone salute, except Honora had another imp with that salute, or at least went back to the same one. Well, the Crone salute, of course, you can only use once per character. The imp salute, you can use any of a number of times. And Honora does get the orb back with a Howler, but does have a normal imp form character as well, and able to score with that. And that is a very big deal whenever you're able to score in a round when your opponent uses the Crone salute. So often we think of that as being what is more or less an automatic score in that round, but I suppose Phaler does get a score in this round, given how those are one-time use abilities, those Crone salutes, as we were saying. Just don't like to see them go without capitalizing on those opportunities. Here's Honora, and that is a 30 damage Crone salute, as Phaler had all of his exiles banished. Phaler back at it, but loses Vorfrit. Back with Bertrude, and now Raji as well for Phaler. There's Honora's Feral Curse, but Phaler tries to sacrifice one of his imps, but doesn't quite do it quickly enough to get them back in time to stop that score. So that means Honora may just be one score away here. For Phaler, it would likely take two. Now those imps doing what we tend to see the imps do, and that is get a bunch of banishments. But so much so that everyone was banished on Honora's side, and now it is a one-score game for either player, in all likelihood. And here is Phaler. That was nearly the deciding point. Now Honora back in possession. Phaler aggressively pushing here, though. Gets some banishments. A lot more space, as we've seen a lot of those characters go down. Who can capitalize on those opportunities? It's back with Honora. She does have a portal. Doesn't take her very far, but it is a super portal. Does give her infinite stamina. Maybe that's the main reason. Phaler goes straight in. And that'll do it.
Their adversaries came ever so close.
GG.
The ceremony is complete.
Well played, you two. Alright, well, let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
And let us know if there's anything we'd like to see in the next one, as that was all up to the players to take whatever they want. How's it going, Murph? Good to see ya. Let's just reset the song, if nothing else. The Imp Black Hole effect. This sounds vaguely familiar. Was that the visual effect that I was referring to that was in front of Honora's Pyre at the beginning of the match? you curse an imp while they're casting, they leave it behind. Does it do anything, or is it just a visual effect and nothing else? And then next cast with no charge up time. Not just a visual effect. No, okay. No, that is pretty big. Okay. Interesting. Because, yeah, it did go away soon after I called it out. Alright, well, we do have some requests here. It is for exiles. The players choose exiles they think they could beat in a fight. And also talismans that match the color of their triumvirate. So I would assume that means purple talismans for Phaler and blue, maybe you could argue red talismans for Anor. There's definitely a ton of blue talismans. There might be a fair number that start to bleed into purple territory to a certain extent, but I think blue is far and away number one in terms of how many talismans there are of that sort. Alright, why don't we load in? Yeah, at first I assumed that imp effect only happened when you do the transformation with the imp. So I had to double check.
Welcome.
Had to make sure, but Phaler said it was with the cast. Not with the transformation. So I assumed it had to do with the transformation, and that's why it's rather unusual. We tend not to see it. Because the imp salute is rather unusual. So, characters that the players think they could beat in a fight, and paired with talismans of your team's color, which definitely scribe snuffs for Phaler, but something tells me that's not really what he was looking for. Might have to give him a little bit of wiggle room there. Allow him to get some of those darker blue talismans. You do need Howler form, you think? What if I don't want to fight anyone? Look, I mean, that's kind of what I was getting at when we were doing the crimes-themed match. People are fine with committing crimes, apparently, but fighting people? Nah, that's not okay. Never mind that many of the people who are in the downside was because they fought people. I just feel like maybe a little bit of inconsistency there. It's Raji, and it is the Banishing Throws talisman. As I said, I think Anor has a plethora of choices when it comes to the talismans. Phaler, we'd have to take a closer look to see just how many of those blue-ish talismans we could count as being purple. Like Lunar Glass, I think, is very safe. Is that Dying Flame or Living Flame? The one that's more purple, I think, is definitely fair. Dying Flame, yeah. Beyond that, Lose Bow is pink, but maybe magenta enough. Star Splinter's a bit of a stretch, but maybe near the top, you could argue, starts getting purple-ish. Maybe even Canned Singularity in the top right corner there. Certainly the Scribe Snuffs, but that's not really what Phaler's looking for, I'd venture to guess. The border around Fairy Spirit, near the bottom, is slightly purple. I think we have to give a little leniency here when it comes to the purple talismans. Or otherwise, lack thereof. Baylor goes the nutrition stick on Manly. You don't have to fight them, it's just who you think you could beat, theoretically. So Baylor says Manly. Nor says the stowaway goes Dying Flame for her. Baylor also goes Dying Flame, though in his case he's taking Rookie. Last choice here for Anor. I think we did see Baylor opt for Deluge as well. May have a consensus on that. As it's Twilight Shard, the extra throwing damage there for Deluge. So here we go. Characters who the players think they could beat in a fight, just theoretically speaking. And then talismans based on the color of their triumvirates. A little bit of black magic jumping there. Wall bouncing from the stowaway, but down she went nonetheless. Banishing throws there from Anor's Imp. Baylor does have it back and does plunge in here for 15. So accustomed to seeing those curs plunge for 20, but remember that only comes when you take the first mastery on the right side of the tree. If you opt not to do that, then you will not get it. Stowaway. Just a little bit of bouncing when she hit into the wall there, and that drift may have ultimately been what led to her getting banished there. But this time, some setup play, as everyone else was frozen by the stunning claim, everyone except for the stowaway. And that sets her up to plunge for 28, actually, courtesy of the Dying Flame, which was active at that point in time. Now that Anor is back in the lead, that would mean that Baylor's Dying Flame, which I believe he did take, on that character right there, is active. So 23 on that plunge from Rookie. And serious bouncing as Anor crashes into the wall there once again with the stowaway, though went flying a lot further that time. No Rookie in this round, of course, for Baylor, as no one has prayer beads. Does not match the color of either of these triumvirates. Once again, the stunning claim to set up. That time it was with the Imp, Anor plunging for 25 with Raji. Nor moving in with Deluge, and the throw, oh, I was gonna say the throw looked a little bit off the mark, but she immediately got the rebound and dunked. But it means now no Deluge for Nor in this round, and Nor is in the lead, so it does mean if Phaler can get in with Rookie, Rookie will have a little more damage potential, courtesy of the Dying Flame. And Nor is defenseless at the moment. Phaler goes for a worm throw there for 23, and that's extra damage coming from the throw damage talisman, which we don't see very often. But it is always on, as long as you're using throws, unlike what we were saying before with the Dying Flame, of course only applying when the given player is behind. Phaler with a few last-second banishments there, and it was a stunning claim followed by a stunning claim on the other side. A defensive stunning claim, at least initially, by Nor. But Phaler able to return the favor before Nor could do anything about it, and Phaler sneaking in an 11 damage throw there. Trying to follow up quickly with Rookie, but instead he's banished, but comes back quickly, courtesy of Lucky Break. Shooting Star banishes Phaler's Sap. Nor now with the Stowaway. Through the portal she goes, but down she goes. Phaler in possession, blocked. And Nor may have been eyeing another stunning claim opportunity there, but didn't quite have the orb in the position that she wanted it to be in at the time. And that makes sense, and that is a once per round ability. There's the stunning claim though. That time, a defensive stunning claim, and it did work out. Helped Nor stop the attack, and now trying to transition to the other side of the arena, but Phaler able to get a stop of his own. Rookie surveying the field. It does go down. Now Nor with the Stowaway, blocked, banished again as she bounces off the wall and into an opposing aura. Rookie, banished. Nor through the portal, but quickly taken out by Deluge, except there's the Stowaway. With a very quick response, and with Dying Flame, 28 damage. That means Phaler's holding on with 4. Does, of course, have Manly, so may see some rekindling here as Phaler, I think, was trying to throw that one in with the worm, which is, of course, unblockable if it has enough range on it. I just think it didn't quite have that. That had enough range to banish with the Shooting Star throw from Raji. Rookie will try again. And he plunges for 23 as Dying Flame is active, and that means for both players, one score could be enough. But Phaler does have rekindling, and it is big. It's the full 50. Does mean that Dying Flame is active once again for Nor. Not so for Phaler, though he doesn't really need that math working in his favor, as just about anything would do. Vanishing throw again from Nor, causing some chaos, but Phaler still gets the orb back nonetheless. Nor, stunning claim, maybe a little preemptive, but it is just enough to set up the Imp for a 12 damage throw. Ideally, of course, Nor, maybe if she was able to delay slightly longer, could have gotten the full throw in there. Phaler looking for anything, and that'll do. GG.
GG's.
Well played, you two.
The rite is ended.
All right. Well, let's head on back. That one was characters that the players thought they could defeat in a fight, theoretically speaking, of course. And then talismans that matched the color of their triumvirates. Alright, Phaler says one more for him, then he will swap out, so let us know if there's anyone who is interested in getting in on the action. And then potentially same story for Nor, so we may be looking at a double switch. So definitely let us know if anyone would like to get in, as we may have 2 openings quite soon. I know Lilac had said not available at the beginning, but okay, now raise his hand, gotcha, and Murph says potentially. Alright, so we may have a couple people there. Well, we definitely, it sounds like we at least have one. We might have a second, so let us know if there's anyone else who may be interested. But also let us know if there's anything we'd like to see for what looks to be our last match of the day between Phaler and Anor. Or, of course, if not, we can always leave it up to the players to take whatever they want. That is an option as well. iRotor says I can jump in, but tinkering with a PoE 2 build at the moment, so I'll take last priority. Okay, we'll see then. Sounds like we'll definitely get Lilac in for the next one, and then we'll see if Murph is up, we can get Murph, and if not, then we can have iRotor in that second spot instead. But as for this match, between Phaler and Anor, do we have anything in mind? Or do we want to just leave this one up to the players? Seeing nothing at the moment, so why don't we load this one back up and see what the players have in mind.
The fate shall take on.
It'll be at Phaler's home arena,
Night wings.
Spring of Jomir.
Welcome.
See if he can draw upon the support
Who shall conduct the rites
of the home crowd to will his team to a victory here. No requests from chat, so this is all up to the players. Phaler opts for Aura's Scale on Deluge in the first spot. Whereas Anor goes Nutrition Stick on Volfred for her lead. Quick throwing Palmus. That's Phaler's second choice. Anor will go Vanishing Throws with Shooting Star on the Stowaway. Prayer Beads Tamitha, that's Phaler's last choice. Whereas Anor goes Double Savage with Quick Throwing Almer. So here we are, our final match of the day between Phaler and Anor, both of them looking to swap out after this one as we get a series of banishments and respawns all in front of Phaler's Pyre, and eventually it ends in Anor throwing that one in for 20. And Anor follows it up here with another 20 damage throw. Considerably less chaotic on that occasion. Oh, and Anor that time blinking straight in, of course, with the help of the Nutrition Stick. Giving the extra range on the blink, but back to the throw this time. It's another 20 damage, and it means one more of those could be all that Anor needs, unless, of course, Phaler is rocking more Rekindling, which we have tended to see with the saps thus far, and it is the case once again here. So it's the second life bar for Phaler. It's 50 there. But it's been very fast-paced from Anor, and that trend continues, as that's another 20 damage throw. Phaler loses Tamitha in that exchange, but now Anor is defenseless, but activates the Numbing Gust, slowing Phaler down at least until Anor gets a defender back. A little Ninja Savage play there from Anor, but Phaler was up to the task defensively. Then Tamitha gets blocked and banished by the Exploding Sapling. Anor, extra mobility on the Nutrition Stick sap, but that's not enough to make it through. Once again, everyone down on Anor's side, but that actually slows Phaler down with Deluge. That throw Phaler does just enough to stop it, as he looks for a way to break through Honor's defense, but doesn't work that time round. Phaler gets the stop. Once again, Honor defenseless, but once again, getting good value from that numbing gust. Phaler stops the counterattack. Now plots a way forward with Tamitha, tries to hard push her way through, but Honor in position to get the stop. Honor advanced aggressively, but forgot the orb in the process.
I almost pity what transpired there.
Here is Honor with the stowaway, ever so close, but Phaler still able to get the stop, except Almer retrieves and somehow gets in a 20 damage throw there. It seemed as though Phaler had possession. But we have, of course, already seen Phaler's rekindling, which means one score is likely all that Honor needs here, and she is pushing aggressively once again. But in doing so, did lose all of her characters, at least for a moment. Phaler gets the orb back. Trying to find an opening, and does. That being a 20 damage plunge with the Tamitha, and I do think he has Prayer Bead, so yes, she is back in this round. It's been very aggressive from Honor, and the trend continues all the way to the end. GG.
What a crushing victory it was.
Well played, you two.
The rite is done.
All right. Thank you guys for stopping by. Good to have you, as always.
Until the next rite.
GG's. Catch you guys later. And as we were saying, both Honor and Phaler swapping out here, which means we are looking for a couple of people to take their places. And it looked as though Lilac had volunteered in one of those two spots, and potentially Murph in the second. So Murph, would you like to claim that other spot? If not, then we may call upon iRotor instead.
Also, Lids, now that I'm here, I can show you.
Yeah, a little mysterious before. Apparently you were cooking up something art-related, but then you had said you would only show once you got in the game, and I was not sure as to why.
Not once I got in the game, I meant like once I'm in the voice chat.
Okay, okay. I was gonna say, like, why? Is it some in-game art? How did you do that, right?
Okay. I may or may not have created a new emote. And like, you don't have to add it, but I would like to show you, because I think you might like it.
Oh?
This was suggested by Phaler, so credit to Phaler.
Okay.
I'm going to post it in the voice text, and I hope that perhaps you will show it on screen.
Okay.
It's very good, in my opinion.
All right. Phaler, just as a heads up, you are currently still in the voice chat, which you may not realize. Don't worry, you haven't said or made any sounds or anything like that. Just a heads up. Oh, I see the emote now. Hold on, let me show it.
So what do you think?
This is... Oh, come on, Discord. Let me drag it over. Let me drag it over, Discord. Why are you doing this, Discord? Okay, hold on. Just drag it over first, and then enlarge it. That's what Lilac was cooking. You know, if you squint and look at it from a ways away, speaking of cooking, it almost looks like a cookie.
It kinda does.
In a way. In a way.
In a way.
All right. So, we do have Lilac in here, but we are still looking for someone else now. Yeah, so Murph, if you would like to claim the second spot, you have first dibs. If not, then we may be able to still call upon iRotor, so no worries either way, just let us know what you prefer. Put me in? All right, let me get you an invite, Murph. Let's see. Oh, and a heads up to both of you two that if you have not yet updated Steam, there's a chance that you still have a Steam update today, which may or may not prevent you from loading in until you do it. That was the case for the first few players.
I have successfully loaded in, but I haven't gotten an update as far as I'm aware.
I mean, I have no idea when this update actually originated from. For all I know, it was, a little while ago, and maybe you guys did it a while back, and I was behind schedule. Let me see.
I
think I
no
saw her.
idea.
There we are.
Also,
Okay.
hello Murph. Do you like my
Hello?
do you like my emote that I made?
What emote? I didn't see it.
Look in
One
voice
sec.
text.
Definitely not fishing for compliments or anything, but ever so humble.
I do like it actually. That is an applicable emote.
Why, thank you.
Oh, I meant to close out of it, not zoom in to his eyebrow.
It's a good eyebrow.
Upon further inspection, breaking out the magnifying glass, I can concur. Alright, so let me just make sure that Lilac, you have controls as well. There we are. Okay, should be the case. Which triumvirates would you guys like to be? I think I just saw Murph change over to the Essence.
Yeah, I'll stay on Essence.
Okay. So we have, oops, that's not how you spell Murph. And what did you say, Lilac? Dissidents?
Yep.
Okay. Just a second. Let's see. Essence and Dissidents. Man, it's so nice when you guys pick the triumvirates that are alphabetically right next to each other. It makes it so much easier for me. It's almost like you did that deliberately.
I didn't.
No, there's no way you did that deliberately. But it was very convenient. I appreciated that. Didn't have to scroll through the entire list of triumvirates to find them. Okay, so let us know if there is anything we are looking for request-wise. Otherwise, of course, we can leave it up to the players to take whatever they want. That is also an option. This will be the first match of the day for both Murph and for Lilac. And Frost showing up and is taking my invitation immediately by turning Customize off here. So randomized Exiles,
Nice.
Masteries, and Talismans. Alright, and that covers just about all the stuff, so why don't we get started here? Throw these two into the action, a little bit of Customize off chaos. And I'm pretty sure... Okay, no, it's Fall Solium. I heard the water. Wasn't sure if it was Fall Solium or the boat for a second, but it's double Imp and I think Savage was the other one, yes, for Murph. Then for Lilac, it's a Demon and 2 Harps, so double of a given class for both players.
My
Moon. Hmm? Did we change up the controller setup or something?
Are we
No.
good over there?
my cursor is gone.
Oh, that's weird.
I
I
see.
can see it. Wait, what happens if I tab back in? What about now? Was I not tabbed in or something?
No, it's not gone, but like the image.
It looks a little
Files.
different.
It's just like a jumble of pixels.
Oh.
That's what I'm.
Well, that's interesting.
Hold on. Wait.
Take a quick screenshot of it.
Yeah. Give me.
One moment, please, while Iggy just does a little dance here. Well, there was some talisman that I thought we saw right as... Oh, that was a can singularity on one of Murph's exiles. Yeah, on whatever the second imp was. I think it's Raji. Yeah, Raji has can singularity. So we're learning a little bit here. I thought we saw something on Lilac's end as well, though.
Hold on, okay, it's not letting me take a photo because apparently I don't have the storage for it, but let me see if I took a screen if it got my mouse. It's a jumble of pixels. You gotta trust me.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Alright, do you guys want me to pause and give you a countdown, or do you just want to go from here?
Just give us a countdown.
Alright, let's go. I'll do this then. I'll give you a 3...
Wait.
Oh?
Wait, can you like click your mouse? Click and hold, like...
I'm clicking and holding right now. Does that do anything?
Okay, it didn't. It looks very odd. Still.
Okay, I don't know what to make of this. Well, anyways, I'll give you guys a countdown. I'll go 3, 2, 1, go, and on go I'll hit resume. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so, our customize off match to get things started between Murph and Lilac. As we were saying, we learned a few things at Mooncrest. That's, I think, what we saw on Ignarius for Lilac before. So we know a little bit already about both of these setups, despite them being customized off. It's a 12 damage throw from Murph. Oh, and Lilac with a ton of extra starting Pyre life as well. Probably must have been a combination of the Talisman and also the Mastery from Ignarius. Here is Murph. Testing things out, surveying the scenery with the imps, and throws this one in for 9. Gareth does have the Savage Salute. Down he goes. Now Ignarius for Lilac. Down he goes, yet the Mooncrest makes that banishment much quicker. It is a convenient character to have the Mooncrest on, as Ignarius does have low hope, so it would usually take quite a bit to come back from banishment. Okay, that was the salute. I did not see how Murph's exile became a Howler. I merely saw that it was a Howler. Also just saw a Luminous Idol on someone. Oh, and Typhoon Bottle as well. Okay, we're seeing a lot of talismans show up, so that is a rare luxury with Customize off. Oftentimes, you can go much, if not the entirety of the match, without knowing some or close to all of the talismans. That is not the case here. As to whether the players can remember which randomized talismans have been assigned to their characters, that's maybe a different question. Then they can plan around that, integrate it into their strategy a little bit more. It's an infinite stamina portal that Murph has. That helps facilitate getting Gareth in there for a 20 damage plunge, but he does not have prayer beads, so he's gone in this round. That leaves Murph with just the imps at the moment, and down goes Raji. Here is Messenger Imp. And there is a quick 10 damage throw sneaking through, though as we were saying before, Lilac had a bunch of extra starting Pyre life, so even after a few scores here from Murph, Lilac still above 100 Pyre life, where of course the players would typically be starting the match. Murph trying to sneak through with the imp, and this time it's a 4 damage throw, so Murph just whittling away. But that damage, of course, can add up, and you could look at Lilac's Pyre life and say, well, as we were saying, Lilac still has above 100 Pyre life, so maybe it's not adding up all that much, but it was a lot more than 100 starting Pyre life. So that is still saying something. Lilac gets the orb back, though Murph does have a somewhat dangerous portal there, if he is to regain possession. Yeah, it is Luminous Idol on Gareth. That's what it seemed like before, so he gets full stamina when he picks up the orb, which with a saluting Savage is pretty nifty. It does help set him up there for a 20 damage plunge. But once again, obviously means no Gareth in this round. So back to the imps. Two-pronged attack, though Messenger Imp switching around to the other side. Lilac able to get the banishment, but now Murph returning the favor and sneaking in with a 15 damage plunge. And Raji was the Can Singularity Imp, I think, and here is Gareth once again, plunging for 20. everyone down on Murph's side. If Lilac is quick, there is the potential for an uncontested score, but there is the can singularity, and there is Raji. Don't think Lilac was quite close enough to have the orb vacuum cleanered away by that can singularity. There's the portal, which is just far enough away to, help Murph with some nifty maneuvering there. Sidestep the defender, set up the 15 damage throw.
Good.
Murph may not have many big hitters here with this team, as most of his characters have been doing 15 or occasionally 20 damage with Gareth, but the volume is such that it does add up. On the other hand, well, here is Gareth plunging again for 20, and one more of those could do the trick, but Gareth is gone in this round after having plunged. Then again, there is Ignarius, who very likely is the highest damage character on the field here in this match, so that does help Lilac make a quick comeback if he is to get in for a score or two. Although, speaking of which, that's a very dangerous portal that could very much help Murph to set up another score, except Lilac is in possession, and Murph was defenseless for a second there, but Lilac wasn't quick enough to capitalize. The portal is still there for Murph to consider using, as Raji is puffing his chest, trying to assert dominance. Oh no, you got rid of it! Murph eyeing the portal, but so is Lilac, and does reset the portal by getting banished again with an imp. It did move it ever so slightly further away, now a little bit further away still. At which point, it's certainly still helpful, but not quite the same level of threat it once was. But Lilac in possession here with Tamitha. Messenger Imp, though, does enough to get the stop. And Murph in for 15, but as we said, that wasn't going to be enough. But now, with Lilac down to 5 Pyre life, just about anything would do for Murph. But ever so close. Insufficient nonetheless for Gareth, though. Lilac running out of time here.
What a lonely imp.
Lilac blocks Pamitha, but gets it back. Out of stamina, though. Can't find a way to avoid Gareth, who's on the move here. Lilac recovers. Over to Ignarius. He's banished, but will come back quickly with Mooncrest. Pamitha flies over the cast, but then gets banished. And Gareth, with an opportunity here, he is slowed, but able to get in nonetheless for the winning plunge.
They overwhelmed their adversaries utterly.
GG.
The rite is complete.
Well played, you two.
I will be right back. I trust that no one will pull any
Until the
pranks while I'm
stars
gone.
align.
Alright, chat, you heard Lilac. Lilac will be right back. Definitely do not pull any pranks while Lilac is away. We would never do such a thing. That's just not our style. But you know, let us know if there is anything you'd like to see for the next match. Theoretically speaking. Otherwise, if not, then of course we can always just leave it up to the players to go with whatever they want. That is also an option. Blue may or may not be scheming. Not seeing anything at the moment, though. Blue says too sleepy to come up with anything fun, though. Hey, it's hard to think up new stuff, right? I mean, I suppose there's always, like, archetypes. Then that can kind of make up the stuff for you, in a way. It is 2 a.m. Okay, we can give you a pass on that. Oh, there we go. Okay, Ari comes in with the default masteries. You don't see them very often. So much so, in fact, that players may forget that they exist sometimes.
What is default master?
There you go. We're about to find out.
You click the masteries thing and put a star there that I've literally never seen.
All right, well done, Ari. We've done it. Mission accomplished. Let us know if there is anything we'd like to do in addition to that, but that may have already done what we sought to do. Now see, I could explain what the default masteries are, but that would take away all the fun.
Yeah, at this point I want to be surprised.
Although I suppose that doesn't necessarily prevent us from doing other things with arenas or songs. Frost says 4-letter word starting with a B and then O. Yeah, you see, it's just a word that starts with a B and rhymes with ook.
I mean, there are no other stages in this game that start with BO.
One moment.
That someone may be insinuating.
No, I have to check. You know, that tracks. You're not wrong. What do you mean? You've never been to the Boo of Haub? He's a very ghostly guy. Nah. Halloween is come and gone.
Yeah.
Oh, right, the boat! That one. That does sort of have a BO in it, despite it not technically saying
Yeah, I
boat.
guess it's not called boat, but book is not. Is book called book? What is book even called?
That one is called book. Okay.
Okay.
What do you mean? Halloween is never gone. Well, it's still...
That's
It's
ominous.
not Halloween, but it is Day of the Dead, I think. Which is similar in a way, although obviously not identical. Some common themes, if nothing else.
Alright.
All right, Matthew McConaughey.
Did I miss anything?
Oh, nothing. Just a
Nothing
good old
important.
default match, right?
Hmm.
And the book.
Wait a minute. What?
What? Oh. Oh, does it do that? This is a thing. Wait. That's not a coincidence. I think you do legitimately need to do that every time.
Wait, what?
Does it work now? You have to leave versus mode, I think. Did I do that altogether? Hold on. Exit versus mode. Hold on. This is a bug. This is a known bug. It just so rarely comes up that you very rarely need to remember it. I think we should be fine now. Maybe. Or not.
How the turns have tables. It.
Did I not exit versus mode before? I thought I did. I thought that was the solution.
I think you did.
Well, I mean... surely now it'd be fine. Right? Right? I don't like how it's already freezing a bit on that screen. Yeah, so about that. I thought that was a known bug and that this was the known solution, but perhaps not. I could try restarting Pyre and see if that happens to fix it.
You're very dedicated.
I mean,
Is it like, is there mods making it angry, or is it?
no, I think in the
just
default
the
game
is
at
bugged?
least. In the default game, that is a bug that I thought you could fix pretty consistently by just exiting and re-entering versus mode, but that did not appear to work. I'm gonna try rebooting Pyre and just give it one more shot. Okay, let's see. Do all this stuff, then we get you guys back in, and maybe Pyre now decides that it's actually okay with this. Hopefully. If not, then unfortunately, Ari, we may need to pass.
Wait, was it Ari that did this?
I don't know what you're talking about. What is this? Uh-oh.
Well,
Uh-oh.
well,
Okay. Well, at one point in time, it was doable, but apparently no more? Question mark? Or there is a workaround, but it's more elaborate and I no longer know it. So, unfortunately, I do think we need to pass on that. That's a shame. I was looking forward to it.
well, darn.
We tried our darndest, though. Ari, would you like to do a different type of mastery request instead? Nah, you're good? Okay. Well, in that case, we'll keep the book. We'll keep the normal masteries. Sad face.
The essence shall confront the dissidents. Welcome.
Alright, so that means
Who shall conduct the rites?
everything is up to the players here. In what is, I guess you could say, Snadra's home arena. I guess you could say Snadra's home, period. Usual additional character mod is incompatible with standard masteries at the moment. Oh, but I mean,
Yeah,
there
that's kinda
is a
what I
fix
was
that I don't
guessing.
have.
I have no controls.
Ah,
Oh.
let me remedy that situation. Should be good now.
There were no exile requests.
Nope. Just the request that we unfortunately could not do.
Wait, did Frost make her a request?
Frost did the arena. Frost locked in the book.
Oh, I thought it was boat.
Frost was trying to fool us into thinking it was a boat request.
Oralek.
Darn.
throwing Volfred for Murph in the second spot. Speedy Bertrude in the second spot for Lilac. Speedy Tizo in the last spot for Murph. And now Infinite Stamina Tizo for Lilac. So here we go. Shoulder Smash, deleting Oralek for the next 30 seconds.
I think you mean banishing.
Well, you see, when a character is gone for more than 20 seconds, it actually is legally referred to as deleting.
For real?
Poor exile.
Yeah, check in the dictionary.
I see.
The
Well, you see, I can't check it right now, considering I'm in the middle of a match.
Well, as you're waiting for Oralek to return, perhaps you can. As right now, Oralek is down, but so is everyone on Murph's team except for Tizo. Lilac may legitimately have just been typing in the dictionary, trying to pop that up as Oralek was banished. Couldn't help but notice none of Lilac's characters were moving, and I heard some tippity-tapping on the keyboard.
I do anything for the bit.
Murph sneaks around for a 25 damage plunge from the Imp. Means no Tizo in this round, though. Blue disapproves of deleting Oralek.
Of course you would.
Murph here with
Blue
Snadra.
Blue is an Oralek fan.
All of the dissidents.
There is the shielded Snadra, supported by the team shield on Volfred. Murph using it to good effect there. Trying to repeat process for Tizo. Didn't quite work out on that occasion, though. That means right now just Volfred. And then he goes through the portal and gets transformed into a Howler. Maybe not the series of events that Murph was expecting. So Lilac able to convert that into a 30 damage plunge. As Oralek that time bullies all the defenders into submission, stunning them along the way. And now just Tizo for Lilac, and Tizo down means plenty of time for Murph here to throw that one in for 25. Snadra shoulder smashes, shields, and then shields again. And that is exactly what Murph is looking for. The sap plus Nomad combo, even gets some leech to go along with it. Down goes Snadra, and here comes Oralek. 25 damage plunge from him, but it means he's now gone in this round. And it is possible for Murph to get enough damage here from Tizo, no less, and here he is with the deciding throw.
GG.
GG.
Their adversaries confidently thwarted.
Well played, you two.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Alright, well let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know, chat, if there is anything you'd like to see us do for the next one. That one was ultimately just an arena request. Unfortunately, couldn't do the preset masteries. Let us know, though, if you have anything in mind this go-round. Seeing nothing at the moment, though, and of course that means we could always just leave it up to the players. So let's go with that.
The essence
It's the Isle of Kalimur,
shall take on the dissidents.
so a little bit of extra chaos from
Welcome.
all those imps.
Who shall conduct the rites?
As for how the players choose to deal with that, we shall see. Oh, heads up, yeah, you have the hangover effect. So rather than a speedy imp, it'll be a speedy saluting Bertrude in the first spot for Murph. And of course, whenever you see someone take an imp, as Murph was seemingly about to do in the first spot on the Isle of Kalimur, it always begs the question, is it going to be a 100% imp composition? Now that that is no longer the case, at least in the first spot, you have to imagine that is just not even on the table, and well, obviously it's impossible to do triple imp, but maybe the player's not even thinking about going with imp-centric teams for the thematic consistency anymore. As Lilac went with the stowaway, now Murph, of course, potentially doing this just to spite me.
Messenger.
Is it only 3 masteries?
Yeah.
Potentially just to spite. No. Well, he has an
I was
imp
like,
after all.
I'm gonna pick the last laugh mastery, and then that will be my last laugh.
It's a different kind of last laugh, you see. You wouldn't understand. Lilac goes with Kerfang for extra plunging damage on Almer. Now speed throwing Ignarius in the last spot for Murph. And Lilac, at least thus far, rather than potentially going triple imp, has 2 savages. Brief moment of hesitation there as Lilac hovered over the third of the savages. You have to wonder why that might be, as it is Gareth in the last spot. It's Murph getting a banishment and then snaking all over the place. Successfully, no less. As a wall of imps now flooding the center of the arena. Lilac hindered by that a little bit less, courtesy of that savage salute, allowing for the quick teleportation to the orb. Murph does get the orb back, though, with Iggy now set up with a Brazen Manor for potentially some extra damage, but down he goes. And the orb about to get caught in the middle there, amongst all of those imps, but Lilac gets it back and throws it in here for 20. What's up, Ansa? How are you? And once again, Murph gets aggressive with the snaking crone.
How is she able to do that?
Lilac bewildered by the effectiveness of that play. The only downside, of course, is that it led to a plunge, so now there is no crone in this round for Murph. Now it's Iggy. Banishes 1, but Lilac gets the orb back with the other exile, only to then be banished. Time now, perhaps, for Ignarius. Can he charge up the Brazen Manor? Yes, he can. Although, may have gotten the extra damage potential from Brazen Manor, but had to cut the throw short because of it, so in the end, it still amounted to 30 damage.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I full charged that.
It looked like it was. Yeah, that was strange.
I don't know, maybe you have to start the throw after Brazen Manor procs.
Was it too quick
It doesn't
after you
update
activated it,
mid-throw.
maybe?
Yeah. Because I mean, I was already throwing before I actually activated the Brazen Manor, because I did the pass to your friend and pass back.
Iroder seems to be saying yes, that was likely the cause. Meanwhile, the snake has returned.
The rite is nearly ended.
And it does mean one more score is potentially all that Murph needs here, and it definitely means he does not need the Brazen Manor, but he activates it and plunges with it.
The essence prevail.
GG.
Was as though the
That Chrome was
scribes
kind of
themselves
fast, no?
stood by their side.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a bit.
The rite is
Just a bit.
ended.
also, Onside, do you want to play?
Alright, let's hop back to the main menu here. Yeah, Iroder says max damage is locked in at the start of the throw.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ansa's just hanging out, just watching today, but glad to tune in, glad to see ya. Well, let us know if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one between Murph and Lilac, as that one, I think, was just all up to the players. And of course, if we don't have anything in particular that we're looking for here, we could always go back to that for the next one, but let us know if you guys do have anything in mind.
You know what?
Oh, I was gonna say, you said you know what, and then I immediately saw a request, except it was not from you, it was from Murph. So, had to do a quick little double take there. The first one is Murph with Never to Return Essence Edition, but then Lilac comes in with the boat. Alright, so why don't we get this one going then? So the team composition, at least, still up to the players here. Oh, except, hold on, I spoke too soon. We have a talisman request. Everyone use something that is cursed for, like, every character has a cursed talisman. That's what it sounds like Ansa's going for here.
I can work with that,
Who shall conduct
if I remember what they do.
Yeah, triple cursed talismans. I mean, they may not be popular first choices, but they do have some upside. Yeah, in every case, they also come with a potentially equal, if not even more significant, downside. But it is possible to plan around them a bit. So it's Black Claw on Jody in Murph's first spot. That's the one that cannot cast. It prevents the character from casting, but means that they keep an aura while they are in possession. Instead, it is the Black Heart on Oralek in the first spot for Lilac. That's the one that potentially brings the character back from banishment with infinite stamina, or alternatively, turns them into a Howler. Then the other one, the Black Hoof, gives more stamina, but they cannot pick up the orb at all. So Blackheart on a Saluting Udmilda. That's how Murph opts to use that one. Black Hoof Jody for Lilac. Murph will take Black Hoof on Tizo. Guys, the word downside does have a use case outside the context of Pyre, okay? Every time I just happen to say the word downside, it's never intended to be a reference to the downside in Pyre, and yet every time people are like, ooh, he said the word, he said downside.
Well, you are playing it.
I mean, yeah.
Pyre.
Glory first to the
Like,
dissidents.
come on. You saw this coming.
Everything is Pyre. What are you talking about?
Everything, when everything is Pyre, nothing will be.
So what you're saying is, there are other uses for the word downside, as Lilac is defenseless here. Murph, time to throw that one, and remember, crone throws, of course, are unblockable. Downside? More like downside, am I right?
Why is it that prone throws are unblockable?
What was that?
I said, why is it that crone throws are unblockable?
Mechanically, the crone and worm throws have extra height, and technically sap throws do, at least from some ranges, and that means that you cannot get high enough in the air to block them, functionally. In practice, it more or less just means they're unblockable. Here is Jody. Down she goes for Murph. Is Paleth banished here. Murph, with Udmilda, gets the, once again, unblockable throw. Ooh, a little bit of boat magic there. Facilitating that devastating blow from Orlek for 25 damage.
Unfortunate for the dissidents.
Everyone down on Lilac's side, so potentially an opportunity here for Murph. Charges up the throw, and doesn't matter if it's unblockable on that occasion. There is no one there to stop it. Of course, Lilac, with all of these, whoa! These demons, including the one that just went for a little skate, did take a bunch of starting Pyre life. That does make it harder for Murph to break through, make a sizable dent on that Pyre life. Despite having made a few scores already and getting one here, it is only now that we see Lilac dropping below 100 Pyre life. Of course, no one has prayer beads, so any plunge means that character is gone. There is the crone salute. Murph's ace up the sleeve that he breaks out there. Maybe because he knew that he had plunged with that demon, and so why not get the extra advantage on what would have otherwise been potentially the most difficult round for him. Big power cast banishes one, big boat magic, but it's not enough to avoid banishment for Lilac. Everyone down for Lilac means time for this throw. Lands for the full 30, which means Lilac is down to 10. Of course, no one has any rekindling, because no one can take the right light talisman, and no one took any saps. So that means one score is potentially all that Murph needs. And there it is.
GG.
GG.
Well played, you two.
Their fire burns, whilst that of their adversaries is but ash. The rite is done.
All right. Well, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know if there is anything we would like to see for the next one. That was just a boat. Well, it was more than just a boat plus Never to Return Essence Edition, because we did get that late request for the Cursed Talismans. That was perhaps the most significant aspect of that match. Anything else we want this time round, or if not, as always, we can leave it up to the players. Oh,
Hmm.
Murph, subjecting himself to some Titan Stars here. Says Lilac picks 3.
I see.
Now, is there a counterpart to it? So, Murph, weren't you testing out a little
not
bit?
today.
Not today? Okay.
I do like the customized off versus all Titan Stars is kind of like a classic I start to enjoy now, but that's not what this is.
Okay. So this one, just up to Lilac to choose. Which 3 do you have in mind?
The Titan Stars.
Lilac eyeing the options. There are many. Basically, every stat you can boost. You can start by dealing damage, you can start by having extra Pyre life, you can have built-in prayer beads,
Sylvia's horse-headed.
you can get leech. Are those the 3?
Yes.
Okay, so Lilac opted for the leech, the automatic damage at the beginning, and then the built-in prayer beads.
Excuse me. I was trying to sneak in a brain cell.
Ah, okay. I was wondering why you were fighting me as I was attempting to highlight the 3 that you had chosen.
Who shall conduct?
I was like, if we were going for the same things, you would think it wouldn't be so difficult to hover over them. That's because we weren't. Well, it's Prayer Beads Pamitha for Murph. Speedy saluting Bertrude for Lilac. Speed throwing Volfred. Extra plunging damage for Pamitha in Lilac's second spot. Murph will go Webbed Lanthorn on Tizo. Now, final selection for Lilac. It'll be interesting to see to what extent the players deliberately made adjustments to their team compositions with those Titan Stars in mind. As Lilac goes extra damage at the beginning of the match with Volfred, and alongside one of those Titan Stars means it's 40 damage to Murph's Pyre right off the bat, and then Lilac also breaks out the Crone Salute, so Murph more or less defenseless for that first round, and that means that Lilac has already dropped Murph down to 30 Pyre life. However, I do believe we saw Murph take 10 Rekindling on Volfred, so still a little more Pyre life beyond what we see here from Murph. That was only one of those Titan Stars that Lilac activated. Lilac defenseless here, though, so opportunity for Murph to throw that one in for 25. One of the other things, of course, though, is that Lilac gave some extra leech potential to all characters, which now that Lilac has taken some damage, is a potential factor as well. Murph speeds around, though, with the harp, plunging in here for 20. That was a prayer beads harp, not built-in prayer beads. Had to sacrifice the talisman slot for it, but worthwhile on that occasion for Murph. Wolfred pushed away a bit. Down he goes this time. Hamatha banishes one. Looking for an opening. Wolfred blocking her off. Eventually getting her banished. Murph gets the block and has some room to work with here. Soars in for 20, once again with the harp. So, banishes everyone. Murph with an opportunity here, but how quick can he be? Well, he has the quick throwing sap, and it might have taken a little while to get him into position. But the talisman made him quick enough that he was able to get the full damage in there. And it drops Lilac down to 10. Now, Lilac, of course, also does have a sap. I do not recall as to whether we saw any rekindling for Lilac. Well, we may be about to find out here. It's 50. So Murph with a lot of momentum. However, that is a sobering sight to behold, as there is still a fair bit of work left to be done for both players, as we just saw the big rekindling for Lilac, and although Murph does not have as much, we've yet to get it revealed. But after that plunge, drops Lilac down to 30, so it may appear as though these two are tied, but given the rekindling that has yet to trigger for Murph, that is not really true. However, one could argue with the leech effect, the leech potential that Lilac has, maybe that cancels things out to a certain extent. But after this 25 damage throw, now it means one score very likely would be all that Murph needs, unless, of course, Lilac can get some scores in to get some of that leech proccing. But as we were saying, those sap throws from some ranges are unblockable, and with that throw, Murph is the victor.
Perhaps they do deserve their freedom after all.
GG.
The rite is complete.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
And let us know if there is anything we would like to see for the next one. That was with a few Titan stars active. But if we don't have anything in particular that we're looking for, of course, we can always just leave it up to the players to go with whatever they want. That is also an option. And so it appears as though that may be the direction we're going in this time.
The essence versus the dissidents.
So the Pit of Malith.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
And no requests from chat, so this one is all up to the players. There'll be a Speedy Bertrude in the first spot. We, of course, saw Murph pull off some interesting tricks with Speedy Crones in one of the previous matches, so maybe looking to draw from that same metaphorical well this time around, as Lilac goes Talisman and Masteryless on the first exile there. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off for them. Prayer Beads Orlek for Murph. Now, was that just a fluke with that first Tizo selection?
Exile.
Maybe not. Titan Tooth Mammoth in the last spot for Murph. Lilac with 2 unallocated imps. No masteries, no talismans. Does Lilac go for the full set? No,
Shit, hangover. Uh-oh.
Oh, was there a hangover for that?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, did have masteries and talismans on Bertrude, but was fighting a hangover effect, so that did negate some of that. And there is the Crone Salute, which means that was an opportunity, a relatively uncontested opportunity for Lilac to score, but now, with no Bertrude in this round, and not much going for these imps, that does make things rather challenging in this round for Lilac, as Murph throws that in for 28, slightly less than the maximum. Murph back with Bertrude, though. Cut off by Tizo, but then Tizo is banished. Orlek moves in, trying to knock away those defenders, but eventually ends up plunging in directly. But he had prayer beads, so he is back. Little 360, maybe even 720 cast that time from Pamitha, but eventually she went down, and that meant more room for Lilac to capitalize on, and did just that with Bertrude. But once again, a plunge, which means fewer characters back to defend against Murph's attack there. That time, it's a 12 damage throw. Everyone down here. Opportunity for Murph with Orlek this time. And this time it's 25 damage. Now, of course, given the lack of talismans and masteries that we saw, not expecting to see any rekindling for Lilac in this match. And nearly, though, able to plunge with Bertrude, but comes up just short. That means just Raji back defensively, and Murph just needs one score, and after using the Crone Salute, that'll do the trick.
GG.
What a crushing victory it was.
GG.
Those seem like pretty even teams.
Thus end this
That
night's
matchup could go either way for sure.
Yeah, there's a voluntary decision there by Lilac for some pretty unconventional imps.
Until the next rite.
Well, just to check in, is there anyone else who is interested in getting in on the action, or will this end up being our last two of the night? Our last two players, that is.
Does anyone else want to get in?
There was iRotor interest earlier. But
True.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. It was, I'm available if other people are not available, is basically what it came down to. I'm not sure if how eager he is to get in at
Well,
this
if
stage.
Rotor's down to play, I could swap out.
He says it's midnight for him, so
Ah.
not ideal. Alright, no worries, iRotor. Just checking in to make sure that if there is anyone else looking to get in, we give ourselves enough time to give that person or persons time to play. But doesn't seem like anyone else is looking to get in right now. So I suppose that means let us know if there is anything we would still like to see between Murph and Lilac. If not, then, as always, we can just leave it up to the players. Not seeing anything here, so I think that means we'll just hop back in. Oh,
The essence
that's a boat.
confront
That's about
the dissidents.
Lilac approves.
Welcome.
So a random boat.
Who shall conduct the rites.
But no requests from chat, so everything else is still up to the players. We'll see how they choose to adapt to and potentially embrace the boat magic. It'll be Speedy Tizo for Murph. Kerfang Oralek for Lilac. Quick throwing Messenger Imp for Murph in the second spot. Lilac will go Leeching Jody in the middle spot. And this is what I was referring to before when we saw the Isle of Kalamer show up, is when you see people start setting up one or certainly two imps, it makes you wonder if they're considering the third and final imp, and that is the case here for Murph. Apparently the boat is actually the natural habitat of those imps. And Speedy Vizpaleth is the final choice for Lilac, and I believe we saw Lilac take all of the masteries for extra starting Pyre Life, so Lilac has more than double Murph's Pyre Life at the beginning of this match. And it is Lilac here, but losing Vizpaleth. Murph, of course, we know, is rocking all imps. Lilac rocking all demons, although you could argue Oralek kind of fits into his own archdemon category. Murph, first to the orb there, finds himself in a good position to set up that 25 damage throw. Both players go flying. Murph is banished, Lilac gets it back, Lilac plunges, that's 33 damage. That was Oralek with the Kerfang, so 25 plus 8, why you saw a somewhat unusual number there. Messenger Imp for Murph somehow sneaks through, and with that quick throwing talisman, does help set up a full damage throw there. Oralek straight in again. That means 33 damage again, although looking at Murph's Pyre Life, it's an unfortunate number for Lilac right now, as Murph does 25 damage, but now with Oralek back, he is, I believe, Lilac's highest damage character, but he is 1 damage away from being able to finish it with 1 score, unless Lilac took extra damage on other characters. That is not the case. It's 30 damage from a Jody throw, but it's also 15 leech. Oh, wow. Hello and goodbye to Oralek. Meanwhile, Murph plunges for 25. He had to go. He had important business to attend to.
He's a busy man, you see.
Everyone down on Murph's side, and this could be the deciding play for Lilac. And there it is.
GG.
The boat always wins.
GG.
They overwhelmed their adversaries utterly.
Well played, you two.
The ceremony is complete.
All right. Well, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know if there is anything we would like for the next one. I know we've had you guys in for a little while now. Are you two good to stick around for a little while longer? Do either of you need to head out?
I mean, I'm good for a few more, but I'm down to wind down as well.
If anyone else wants to take my place, I'm good to swap out, but if no one wants to, I'm also good to stay.
Okay. I guess in that case, yeah, let us know if there is anyone else. Otherwise, if not, then we may be approaching time for the penultimate rite, the last one in which we would take any requests from chat before we go into the final liberation rite. So last call if there is anyone else who would like to get in. But seeing none at the moment, I think that means that, yeah, this probably will be our penultimate rite. So, our last chance to request any particular things if there is something we would like to see. Oh, like, for example,
Okay, we'll take that.
another customize off match here from Lilac. Oh, not your normal customize off match, no. 0 masteries. That means there are fewer variables that can get randomized, but the characters and the talismans, those certainly can still get shuffled around unexpectedly. The Ron song may be our swan song here. Please don't move the cursor as I'm changing the song, as we will potentially accidentally press that button. Anything else?
Nope.
Alright, now we can press the button. I believe this is the fall, so perhaps a bit of a preview here, but this time it's with Customize Off and with no masteries. For Murph, it is a Nomad, a Crone, and a Savage. For Lilac, it is an Imp, a Harp, and a Demon. So, with no masteries, of course, we don't see that very often, so the players will have to remember they may not have all the tools they're used to having with these characters. And maybe that means that the talismans will be that much more important, as those are some of the key things that the players have to work with here. Otherwise, it's just going to come down to some simple fundamentals, speaking of which, the unblockable Crone Throw is a very nice tool to have. It was a little bit off the mark, or at least didn't quite have enough range the first time, but that must be a talisman that is giving extra damage for Murph. We're also so used to seeing the Crones with 30 damage, but remember, no, that extra 5 damage comes from a mastery, so it starts with 25, but it's an extra 8 from some sort of talisman. Luminous Idol on Lendl, so he has full stamina. It comes back when he picks up the orb. Gareth? I don't think we've learned anything about him yet. Talisman-wise, at least. Obviously, there are, as I was saying before, fewer variables in play here with the Customize Off, as so often it's not just a matter of talismans, it's also trying to figure out what masteries the players have. Milda. So can Murph still pull off the sneaky Crone slithering strats, or does that require a speedy Tailwind Crest to facilitate? And the mastery. It also gives extra speed on top of that. Murph is defenseless, at least until Udmilda makes a timely return. Iggy can't escape. Here is Udmilda. Murph, of course, down one character after having plunged with Lendl, so this is as good as it's gonna get for Murph. Gareth plus Udmilda, it's Astral Eye, there's our confirmation. That's what the extra damage is coming from. That means reduced hope. So there is very much a downside to it, but doesn't matter in this round as Udmilda is just gone, and so are all of Lilac's defenders. So Lendl hops in for the win.
You said downside.
He said the word again! Everybody, quick, go crazy! Once again, not intentional. Oh. I need some synonym for downside.
Till the stars
I need to
align.
just pre-program my brain to always say that word instead of downside.
Drawback.
Drawback.
Disadvantage.
That's drawback is the word I'll need to use more often. Alright. Well, I think it may be time for our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. So that would mean no requests from chat for this one. We'll turn the customize back on. We'll turn the Never to Return Dissidents edition on. And of course, as always, we will find ourselves at the Follisolium with all of our masteries on as well. Almost forgot about that part. Alright, but if you guys are ready, then let us begin.
Why, hello, exiles. You are gathered at the fall of Solium. You are gathered to conduct this rite. Prevail and step closer to freedom. The Essence, stand prepared. Dissidents, stand prepared. Who shall conduct the rites?
Alright, so as we said, this one will be our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. So no requests from chat for this one, both players just taking their preferred teams to finish things off in style. With the customize off, we saw a random Lendl from Earth who got the deciding score. This time he is choosing to take Lendl. Lilac goes Speedy Crone Salute on Bertrude in the lead spot. Which Murph also opts to do. That'll be a Leeching Vorfrit in the second spot for Lilac, so double Crone thus far on that end. And Prayer Beads Gareth is Murph's final choice. Whereas Lilac triples down on the Crones. Alright, so this will be our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. Murph on the left representing the Essence, and Lilac on the right representing the Dissidents. Best of luck to you both.
is at last.
And
The
there it is.
essence proved their worth.
GG.
GG.
Rather convincingly, I must admit. Thus ends the liberation rite.
Well, as we were saying, that was our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. So thank you everybody who participated in the rites today and everyone who gave us the requests in chat as well.
Mhm. Good times as always.
GG's, guys.
Farewell.
I'll catch you next time. Alright, let me just free them from remote play if they have yet to free themselves, although they may have both already fled the scene of the crime. I believe so. Okay. So let me throw that screen on, and as I was just saying, that was our final rite of the night, our liberation rite, so thank you everybody who participated in the rites and everyone who gave us the requests in chat today as well. This was, of course, Pyre Community Rite Night, and if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then the best way to do so is by joining the Rite Club Discord server, which you can do, hold on, I was about to spell it incorrectly, by clicking on that link right there. My name is Lids, I'm hosting these Rite Nights, and my streaming schedule is weeknights, and by weeknights I mean usually Wednesdays. We're doing Path of Exile 2, then Fridays we're doing Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer, Saturdays Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and then obviously Sundays, this, Pyre multiplayer. Then Lids Vids on YouTube as well, posting the VODs for all those streams, so if you missed anything, you can catch that stuff there as well. Also doing some Hades 2 videos straight to YouTube, in addition to a Path of Exile build guide update or two, which you can check out right there, if you would like. Also, if you haven't done so yet already, of course, you can hit the follow button to get a notification when I go live. Also, at Lids Vids on Twitter. I post there when I go live as well. But actually, the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids is my Discord, which you can join by clicking on that link right there. But that's going to be it for me for tonight. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And I'll catch you in the next one.